Have you ever been told to let it go? I have, but I only had some vague understanding of what that meant. When we're bothered by something, especially something we have no power to change, how do we just let it go? And besides, why should I? And why is there a Disney song about it? Hi, I'm Dr. Lisa Ryan. I do these videos in order to be one more voice, encouraging people to use their precious minds in ways that truly serve. I'm talking about serving self and serving others. Without both, we have no flow and life becomes stagnant and less than it can be. Before I go on, let me say that though what follows is very good advice, I don't always feel like following it at all. But thankfully, I know that if I do, I'll come out better. If you master all that's in this video, or any other video really, you will be ready to write your own book. Go for it. Most of us have a pretty strong sense of what we think is right in a given situation. The problem arises when someone else in the same situation sees it differently. Then, when they have the power over what happens, we don't like it, not one little bit. When a strong value of ours is crossed, our emotions can go through the roof. If we then express our distress to a third party and they tell us to just let it go, that can feel quite unfair and annoying too. Why do people tell us to let it go? Usually it's because they care about us and don't want to see us suffer over something we can't change. An expression I like explains why we should listen to this advice. Here it is. Let go or be dragged. Letting go means releasing negative emotions, accepting our situation, forgiving when necessary, and bringing ourselves into the present mentally rather than getting stuck in what is already past. We want to say goodbye to resentment, guilt, and anger because they will not serve us and they will harm us. When we accept something, it doesn't mean we like it or think what happened was right. It does mean that we don't waste energy trying to change it or deny it. Accepting simply acknowledges that things are the way they are. When we forgive, we give ourselves a chance to relax and move forward. I believe in God and that nothing we do is missed. It isn't my job to be judge, jury, and punisher. It's my job to treat other people the way I want to be treated. By the way, it isn't always someone else that we need to forgive. It may be ourselves that we need to let off the hook. When something goes wrong, we acknowledge what happened. We want to acknowledge what happened, even if we hate it. We chalk it up to humanity and see what we can learn from it for the future. We all experience others who hurt or cheat us, and we all make mistakes ourselves. We need to learn so that we don't make the same mistakes over and over. But we need to be gentle with ourselves and not hold ourselves to an impossible standard of perfection. We don't want to miss the present by focusing on the past. How many times have we done that? We often pollute our present moment by focusing too much on something that's done. It is right to enjoy the present and to focus on the future. Reliving difficulties is like carrying around a sack of rotten potatoes, heavy and doesn't smell great. You may have heard it said that we don't want to give our power away to another person, but also we don't want to give our present away to the past. If we can train our thoughts to be accurate, self-loving, and hopeful, then we can have a clean slate over and over with each new day. Do we want to draw the past on that slate or create something new? This may all sound sensible, but we still may have trouble letting something go. How do we start? 1. Give a little time to adjust and be patient with ourselves. We can't do things overnight. We can't change our minds about how we feel about things in a flash, but we can work on it. 2. Realize that we are the ones who assigned meaning to what happened. It's good to challenge the meaning that we've assigned, especially if we're really upset. Emotions and realities are often quite different. I have learned that a breach in trust can teach 1,000 lessons that I wouldn't want to miss. I've seen offenses become the breeding ground for transcendence and growth. These aren't flowery ideas. They are hardcore reality. Many valuable lessons in life simply can't be learned by everything going our way. This may sound irritating and be painful to hear if you're going through something super difficult right now. But if we can be grateful for our challenges, we will be halfway to being free of our burden. 3. Change in life is a given. If we're surprised by it, then we're naive. Unfortunately, life is also often unfair. Sometimes that unfairness is in our favor and we don't mind at all. But when it isn't, we complain loudly. 4. Skip self-torture by sticking to facts. Ask yourself if what you're thinking is truly reality. Failure to filter out the stories we tell ourselves can add unnecessary pain to what we already must deal with. For instance, if we attribute negative ulterior motives to somebody, we will keep ourselves up at night. If we don't know something for a fact, we need to tell ourselves to stop mind reading and think only about what has actually happened. No made-up stories. We don't want to fortune tell either. That's where we decide what the upsetting event will mean for the future when we really don't know. When we hurt, it's easy to open the door to fear of the future. Let's stay in the present today because we already have enough on our plates as it is. Futures hold good things too. We just don't see them yet. 5. Advocate. Depending on the situation, we may want to make sure that we advocate for those who come after us. Here's what I mean. I was in a college physics class. My PhD instructor had never taught entry level before. This teacher was not even really a teacher. He just wrote out full-page problems on an overhead projector. The solution involved lots of numbers and formulas. When he was done, without telling us his reasoning, he would point to the answer and say, "There." On top of all that, he wrote the many little physics symbols illegibly. Not helpful. Our problems sounded like this to me. A man drove 36.5 miles at 77 miles per hour. Another car hit him at a 90-degree angle while traveling at 40 miles per hour. The first car rolled at a rotational speed of 18 revolutions per minute. How fast can a gas can be filled? I thought I'd fail the class, but I needed it to get into medical school. The terrible teacher that I was paying for forced me to spend more money to hire my first tutor. From that tutor, I learned some problem-solving skills that I have used ever since. It was one way that something good came out of my frustration. I couldn't have seen that in advance. So back to advocating. At the end of the semester, we filled out evaluations of our instructor. The guy behind me was doing it out loud. He kept saying things like, "Excellent, very good, I'd recommend this class." He didn't mean any of it. He knew the class was terrible, and yet he wasn't even trying to give helpful feedback. He knew that the class was so bad that another student repeatedly read the newspaper in the front row of the lecture hall during lectures. I said to him, "What are you doing?" He told me that if he had to sit through this terrible class, other people should have to do that too. Huh? That was not caring about the next guy or giving the teacher some useful feedback so he could improve. I know what he did sort of sounds funny, but really it was uncaring. He was just entertaining himself, and he wasn't thinking about the next person. It's good to take the time to make things better for someone else. We may not feel like making the effort, but we sure like the idea of someone else doing that for us. What goes around comes around. Besides, it's just right. In summary, we all need to become experts at letting things go. We do this for ourselves and for everyone who knows us. Nothing about this is easy. It takes discipline to direct our thoughts, but we certainly can. We all have more capacity than we know. If you have been wronged, I hope this video will help you make wise choices. Another video I did called Judging Less, Finding More Peace might be helpful too. Maybe you know someone who could use either one of these videos. In closing, enjoy this moment and live in today. An empowered mind would do nothing less.